Taylor Swift exposed her deal with her old record label, and other celebrities are speaking out. Before I get into the tea, I just want to put out a disclaimer. Please do not send any hate to Taylor Swift, Scooter Braun, or anyone else involved in this story. This video is simply meant to report on the news and give some insight on the situation. Now let's get into the story. In November 2018, a year after Taylor Swift released her sixth studio album, Reputation, Taylor's contract with Big Machine Records expired. That same month, she signed a global recording deal with Universal Music Group, which produced her upcoming album, Lover. This was the first label change she made since beginning her career. With her new deal, Taylor now owns all of her future masters, the first recordings of her songs. However, Big Machine still owns the masters to all of her old music, including her previous 6 albums and 2 EPs. On June 30th, Scott Borchetta, the owner of Big Machine Records, sold the label to Ithaca Holdings, a company owned by celebrity talent manager Scooter Braun, for $300 million. This means Scooter will profit from income earned by Taylor Swift's back catalog. Taylor will still get royalties from her music, but Ithaca Holdings will be collecting the earnings and paying Taylor per the terms of her contract. Dave Grutman, Scooter's friend, shared a screenshot of an article on his Instagram story with the caption, "When your friend buys Taylor Swift." Scooter reposted his friend's Instagram story on his own story. Taylor was shocked by the news and shared her side of the situation in a lengthy Tumblr post. She said she begged Big Machine Records to let her buy her masters. "For years I asked, pleaded for a chance to own my work." Taylor explained the label would allow her to own her music only if she signed into a new contract and continued producing albums. "I was given an opportunity to sign back up to Big Machine Records and earn one album back at a time for every new one I turned in." She said she declined the offer because she knew Scott was planning on selling Big Machine soon. "I walked away because I knew once I signed that contract, Scott Borchetta would sell the label, thereby selling me and my future. I had to make the excruciating choice to leave behind my past, music I wrote on my bedroom floor, and videos I dreamed up and paid for from the money I earned playing in bars, then clubs, then arenas, then stadiums." Taylor also called out Scooter Braun, the new owner of her work. She said he manipulated the media against her over the years through his client Justin Bieber and former client Kanye West. Taylor implied Scooter was to blame for the drama around Kanye's song Famous because Scooter was managing Kanye at the time. The song featured the controversial lyrics, "I feel like me and Taylor might still have I made that famous." At the time, Taylor said she didn't know about the lyrics, but Kim Kardashian posted a video on Snapchat of Taylor and Kanye discussing some of the lyrics. This led many people to believe Taylor was a liar and playing the victim. However, she defended herself when she explained she was falsely painted as a liar and was never given the full story. She spoke about the incident in her recent Tumblr post, saying Kim Kardashian orchestrated an illegally recorded snippet of a phone call to be leaked. It's hard to know who's telling the truth here, but Kim only shared 3 minutes out of the hour-long conversation Taylor and Kanye had. Taylor said while the Kim-Kanye drama was happening, Scooter got his 2 clients together, Justin and Kanye, to intimidate her online about it. She was referring to Justin Bieber's Instagram post. The photo was a screenshot of a video call between himself, Kanye West, and Scooter Braun. Justin captioned the photo, "Taylor Swift, what up?" Taylor also brought up the music video to Kanye's song Famous, which features a nude wax figure of her. Taylor described this as an organized revenge music video. Civil rights attorney Lisa Bloom said the video was technically not revenge or illegal because it was a wax figure and not actually Taylor Swift, but Bloom said it was still sickening, offensive, and degrading. Taylor said she wasn't given the opportunity to buy back her music. "Now Scooter has stripped me of my life's work that I wasn't given an opportunity to buy. Essentially, my musical legacy is about to lie in the hands of someone who tried to dismantle it." After speaking about how Scooter and his clients hurt her over the years, Taylor warned others about her experience in the music industry. "This is my worst case scenario. This is what happens when you sign a deal at 15 to someone for whom the term loyalty is clearly just a contractual concept. And when that man says music has value, he means its value is beholden to the men who had no part in creating it." She also spoke about how she felt betrayed by Scott Borchetta, the CEO of her old label. Never in my worst nightmares did I imagine the buyer would be Scooter. Anytime Scott Borchetta has heard the words Scooter Braun escape my lips, it was when I was either crying or trying not to. He knew what he was doing. They both did. Controlling a woman who didn't want to be associated with them. In perpetuity. That means forever. Taylor ended the post by speaking positively of her new label and giving advice to young, aspiring artists. Thankfully, I am now signed to a label that believes I should own anything I create. Thankfully, I left my past in Scott's hands, and not my future. And hopefully, young artists or kids with musical dreams will read this and learn about how to better protect themselves in a negotiation. You deserve to own the art you make. I will always be proud of my past work, but for a healthier option, Lover will be out August 23rd. Sad and grossed out, Taylor. Scooter Braun deleted his first Instagram story and posted a very similar story, but this time from a different friend and with a more neutral caption, "Congrats." But people had already taken screenshots of the original post and called out his insensitive behavior. This shows his intentions and proves that he hurt Taylor Swift. So the vile Scooter Braun didn't celebrate buying the label, he celebrated buying Taylor Swift. This man is trash. Then he deleted the IG story because he realized he was trash. Buys? Buys? What the hell did he think Taylor Swift is? A money machine? You cannot buy a woman. That is degrading and sexist. Taylor also liked these Tumblr posts from fans expressing their concern over Scooter's post. How are men so comfortable with casually joking about buying women? It's 2019. Why the hell do men still think they can own women? It's absolutely disgusting to see people talking about her as if she is an item. It's gross. But not everyone was happy with Taylor's Tumblr post. Justin Bieber addressed the photo Taylor shared and defended Scooter. "Hey Taylor, first of all, I would like to apologize for posting that hurtful Instagram post. At the time, I thought it was funny, but looking back, it was distasteful and insensitive. I have to be honest though, it was my caption and post that I screenshotted of Scooter and Kanye that said, 'Taylor Swift, what up?' He didn't have anything to do with it, and it wasn't even a part of the conversation. In all actuality, he was the person who told me not to joke like that. Scooter has had your back since the days you graciously let me open up for you. As the years have passed, we haven't crossed paths and gotten to communicate our differences, hurts, or frustrations. So for you to take it to social media and get people to hate on Scooter isn't fair. What were you trying to accomplish by posting that blog? Seems to me like it was to get sympathy. You also knew that in posting that, your fans would go and attack Scooter. Anyway, one thing I know is both Scooter and I love you. I feel like the only way to resolve conflict is through communication. So banter back and forth online I don't believe solves anything. I'm sure Scooter and I would love to talk to you and resolve any conflict, pain, or any feelings that need to be addressed. Neither Scooter or I have anything negative to say about you. We truly want the best for you. I usually don't rebuttal things like this, but when you try and deface someone I love's character, that's crossing a line." Justin's wife, Hailey Bieber, liked his post and commented, "Gentlemen." Taylor's friend Cara Delevingne replied to Hailey's comment, "Gentlemen? Hailey, Justin, you must be bored. I wish you spent less time sticking up for men and more time trying to understand women and respecting their valid reactions. As a married man, you should be lifting women up instead of tearing them down because you are threatened. I'm not sure you actually understand what an apology is. This issue that Taylor Swift is talking about is about far more than a picture, and you know that. As you said, you haven't spoken to her in years, which means you definitely don't understand the situation. I do. Take a step back and try to learn from this. We should all be on the same team. End of story." Scooter Braun's wife, Yael Cohen Braun, posted a statement on Instagram. "I have never been one for public airing of dirty laundry, but when you attack my husband, here we go. Let's start with Taylor Swift. Whoa. Then let's get the facts straight. You were given the opportunity to own your masters. You passed. Interesting that the man you're so grossed out by believed in you more than you believe in yourself. Your dad is a shareholder and was notified, and Borchetta personally told you before this came out. So no, you didn't find out with the world. And girl, who are you to talk about attacking? The world has watched you collect and drop friends like wilted flowers. My husband is anything but a bad person. He spent his life standing up for people and causes he believes in. Beyond that, it's easy to see that the point of putting this out was to get people to attack him. You were supposed to be a role model, but continue to model bad behavior. He's a manager, not God. He cannot control the actions of other humans, even ones he manages. Don't blame them because Kim caught you in a lie. It's embarrassing, I know, but adults own up to their mistakes. We learn and grow from them. We don't divert blame and blur the lines of reality to suit our needs. What you haven't seen is what happens behind closed doors, when he has supported and stood up for you, when he has challenged his clients to be kind or be quiet, when he has reached an olive branch out to you numerous occasions. Scooter was so excited to work and build with you. How embarrassing this temper tantrum is because you didn't get your way. He believes in and supports you. I sincerely hope you can learn to love and believe in yourself the way my husband does. Lastly, if you think he can control his clients, please control your fans. Leave our personal life and kids out of this. You don't understand yet what line that crosses, but one day you will. And I hope you have the dignity, class, and kindness to leave your fans out of this and have an open discussion. Tumblr can't fix this. A phone call can. Yale tagged Taylor Swift in the post and wrote the caption, "Taylor Swift, I'm here to talk privately anytime." Allison Scarinzi, a business partner at Ithaca Holdings, reposted Yale's message and said, "Repost Yale, my wife for life." I also hate a public airing of grievances, and so I will refrain from offering my take on the actual facts of what happened today versus what is being splashed all over the internet. However, I must call out the absolutely reprehensible action of making any of this about gender. I can categorically say that Scooter Braun is not only a good man who supports all women, particularly you, who he has defended and advocated for behind closed doors more times than I can say, but he also owns a company run mostly by women, a company in which I am both president and a named partner. As a woman who has been working so hard for equality in the music industry, Taylor Swift, I beg of you, please don't cheapen the efforts of those who came before you. As women, we have struggled for so long to be treated commensurately with our male counterparts, not to be given special accommodations because the parties on the other side of the table happen to be male. As women, we don't need those types of allowances. We are strong, smart, and capable of the same things men are and deserve the same respect they receive, hence the desire for an equal playing field. Asking for anything but that is childish and immature and absolutely not befitting of the strong adult female leader we both know you can be. Eric Logan, a member of the Big Machine Records board, tweeted and deleted this open letter. You're lying. Stop it. Take responsibility for your own actions. Your mistruths and lies about what happened are just that, lies. You knew about this deal. You knew what you were walking away from, and the offer that was given to you was not what you said. It was much more. I know the facts. I challenge to prove it otherwise. As I'm on the Big Machine Records board, I'm very aware of who knew what and when, so please stop lying. What I'm not going to do is stay silent and you smear Scott's name or work. Your choice of words around Scott are offensive to me, as I know what he's done to build your career. I heard your demo in his living room before the label was officially open, before you were signed. I have taken great pride in standing by Scott and hundreds of employees that dedicated a huge part of their lives to making your life what it is today. So have some respect for them and the people who helped make you what you are. You can be mad at yourself that you didn't want to accept a deal that you should have. That's okay. In the real world, that happens all the time. But you don't get the right to twist the truth. You are one of the most talented and gifted performers and writers the industry has ever seen. But this one area where you attempt to rewrite history just won't work. Demi Lovato, one of Scooter's clients, also came to his defense and said, I have dealt with bad people in this industry, and Scooter is not one of them. He's a good man. Personally, I'm grateful he came into my life when he did. Please stop dragging people. There's enough hate in this world as it is. Y'all can come after me all you want, but I'm always gonna stay loyal to my team. I value loyalty more than most people in this world. And if my name is gonna be brought into conversations, I'm gonna stand up for myself and the ones on my team. Ty Dolla $ign, another client, congratulated Scooter. Congratulations to my brada Scooter Braun. They hate to see it, bro. Keep putting up these W's. Finally, Scott Borchetta chimed in. He shared a link to the BMLG website where he explained the situation in detail. Scott showed images of Taylor Swift's proposal and the Big Records response. He said Taylor's dad, Scott Swift, was a shareholder in Big Machine Records and knew about the deal with Ithaca Holdings. Scott also said he texted Taylor to personally inform her of the deal. He said it's possible she may not have seen his text, and it's possible her dad didn't inform her of the deal. However, Scott said, I truly doubt that she woke up to the news when everyone else did. He also addressed Taylor's comments about being emotional whenever speaking about Scooter to him. I certainly never experienced that. Was I aware of some prior issues between Taylor and Justin Bieber? Yes, but there were also times when Taylor knew that I was close to Scooter and that Scooter was a very good source of information for upcoming album releases, tours, etc., and I'd reach out to him for information on our behalf. Scooter was never anything but positive about Taylor. He called me directly about Manchester to see if Taylor would participate. She declined. He called me directly to see if Taylor wanted to participate in the Parkland March. She declined. Scooter has always been and will continue to be a supporter and honest custodian for Taylor and her music. He referred to Taylor's proposal and said, "I'm attaching a few very important deal points in what was part of our official last offer to Taylor Swift to remain at Big Machine Records." Her 13 management team and attorney Don Passman went over this document in great detail and reported the terms to her in great detail. Taylor and I then talked through the deal together. Scott explained the main deal in the proposal. All Taylor Swift assets were to be transferred to her immediately upon signing the new agreement. Taylor had every chance in the world to own not just her master recordings, but every video, photograph, everything associated to her career. She chose to leave. However, Donald Passman, Taylor's lawyer, said she was not offered the opportunity to buy her masters. Scott Borchetta never gave Taylor Swift an opportunity to purchase her masters, or the label outright with a check in the way he is now apparently doing for others. Scott said they remained on good terms after she left and signed with a new label. Scott also shared the text of a message Taylor allegedly texted him. "Scott, I hope this finds you well. Since communication ran dry on our negotiations, I've done what I told you I would do and gone out exploring other options. Owning my masters was very important to me, but I've since realized that there are things that mean even more to me in the bigger picture. I had a choice whether to bet on my past or bet on my future, and I think knowing me, you can guess which one I chose. I also saw a rare opportunity to effect positive change for a lot of other artists with the leverage I have right now. I know you believe in the same things I do, and I'd like to think you would be proud of what I've negotiated for in my deal. I wanted to tell you first that I'll be signing with Lucian. I honestly truly cherish everything you and I have built together, and I plan on saying so in my announcement of the new deal. What we accomplish together will be a lasting legacy and a case study on excellent partnerships, and may it continue. I still view you as a partner and friend, and I hope you feel the same. Sending you a hug and my most sincere gratitude, and so much love, Taylor." Despite the negativity and criticisms, many celebrities showed their support for Taylor. Halsey said, "Taylor Swift is a huge reason why I always insisted to write my own music, because that's how to make someone feel, to drag it from the pits of your heart, to offer it on a platter and say, take some, but take kindly. She deserves to own the painstaking labor of her heart. She has surpassed all expectations of what any artist is even capable of, and it turns my guts that no matter how much power or success a woman has in this life, you are still susceptible to someone coming along and making you feel powerless out of spite. It speaks volumes to how far we have to come in the music industry. The way writers are treated, how as an entertainer you are respected, but as a writer, you're walked all over, even when you are both in one single body. I am standing with her." Mandy Teefey, Taylor's friend Selena Gomez's mother, said, "Taylor Swift, I wish I could give you a big hug right now. Thank you for speaking out about this and teaching future young artists about protecting themselves. I don't understand the pleasure of power plays to simply hurt people, to deny you the option to own your blood, sweat, and tears, especially as a young woman who shared growing up in front of the world, is heartbreaking." Iggy Azalea said, "I think from what I can see, it's more about the fact they didn't even give her the opportunity to at least bid on her own masters when she's made it known she wanted to purchase. I can totally understand where she's coming from." Cher wrote, "Unfortunately, can relate to having millions stolen a few times. Some close, some very close, some supposed to protect me. Pull up your big girl G-string, pull on your rhinestone combat boots, kick some and remember, you are a rich man." Several celebrities unfollowed Scooter on Instagram, including Miley Cyrus, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, Selena Gomez, and Gwen Stefani. TODRICK Hall, Taylor's frequent collaborator, and the co-executive producer of her You Need to Calm Down music video, posted a statement on Twitter. For those asking, I left Scooter Braun a long time ago. I am saddened by this news, but not shocked. He is an evil person whose only concern is his wealth and feeding his disgusting ego. I believe he is homophobic, and I know from his own mouth that he is not a Swift fan. I truly hope justice is served and that my friend's music will fall into the hands of a better human. He also posted a link to a music video for a song he wrote about his time with Scooter as his manager. TODRICK called out Scooter's and Justin's wives for defending their husbands. Also, men sending women in, their wives, to carry out their patriarchal is the worst form of feminist and human betrayal of all time. Looking at you, Yale and Haley. He continued tweeting about the situation. I would normally not say anything because I'm sure Scooter will threaten me like he has before to keep me quiet. But guess what, Scooter? Nothing you can do to me would be worse than the 6 years of my life I can't get back from when I was ignored as your artist. Allison Scarinzi, the partner from Scooter's company, replied to TODRICK's first tweet about Scooter. TODRICK, this is disgusting and defamatory statement. We dropped you after finding out you were stealing from your fans on your Christmas tour. Scooter has been nothing but supportive of all disenfranchised groups. He is against dishonesty, not those living their truth. TODRICK said, "Oh, you dropped me? Okay, we can play the screenshot game. Why don't you tell Scooter to pay them since he promised in front of my agent to fund up to $500,000 for my album and then went ghost. But you wouldn't know because you were never involved. I was never dropped. In fact, I was practically begged to come back. If anyone's a thief, it's Scooter for taking money from me that he did absolutely nothing to earn. And this is the most effort you've ever put into anything regarding me. Have I had several failed business affairs? Absolutely, but they probably wouldn't have happened had I actually had the management I was paying for every month. Let the screenshot game begin." Allison responded, "You said you needed that amount of money. When we said we wouldn't give it to you, you stole. If you want to play the screenshot game, I've got a bunch from unpaid cast members, though I'm sure they'd be happy to put you on blast themselves. Stop chasing clout and pay your bills." She also retweeted someone who shared screenshots of a Reddit post written by someone who said they weren't paid when they worked on one of TODRICK's music videos. The post, which is a year old, reads, "I was a production assistant on TODRICK's Forbidden Visual album, excited to be working on what I thought would be my first step in the industry. The pay was good and the production value was high, so the gig seemed legit. They rented out a warehouse for the week, had exotic animals, hundreds of backup dancers, antique cars, and built an enormous grid to hang lights from. This turned into a dumpster fire of a production by day 6. They did a company move to the Warner Brothers lot. Grip and Cam teams were getting concerned when Team TODRICK wasn't responding to invoices, and they threatened to walk out. They walked and left a skeleton crew. Then I believe the production went on halt due to insufficient funds. I'm wiser now, but TODRICK Hall has specifically left a bad taste in my mouth." The Redditors shared screenshots of one of the production's call sheets and an email they sent to TODRICK's team. TODRICK replied to Allison, "Stop taking money from artists that you're not actually working to manage. Give me my hundreds of thousands of dollars back for services I never received, and I would be able to pay them more quickly. And just for the record, they have been paid now, no thanks to Scooter. And just for the record, I have never stolen from anyone. Just took longer than expected to pay them back since the backing I was promised didn't come through." He also posted a screenshot of an email he sent Scooter, saying Scooter didn't drop him as a client. Welp, I guess they let me go. Also, I'd like to say this was 2 years after I did the Christmas tour and supposedly stole from my fans. The email read, "Hey Scooter, first of all, I want you to know that I love you and think the world of you and the rest of the SB Project's family. But I have decided that it is time for me to move on to the next chapter of my life. Music is my passion and I need to chase my dreams, even if they lead me nowhere. I want to be able to say that I truly tried. To do that, I need to be with someone who can make music and my career a priority, and after long, hard consideration, many sleepless nights, my heart is telling me to move on. I respect you and appreciate all you've done for me, and truthfully, I wish more than anything that you saw me in the same light as some of your other artists, but I don't think that there is anything I could say to truly change your mind. I may not ever be as big as Justin or Ariana, but I owe it to myself to try. Thank you so much again for everything. It has been a pleasure. You have changed this Texas boy's life, and I will be forever grateful. I would love to talk to you and keep some kind of relationship with you. I wrote you this email because it's an emotional thing for me, but would still love to talk to you whenever you are free. Much love, Pops, TODRICK." In another tweet, he addressed the leaked call sheet from the Reddit post. Also, why posting a pic of a call sheet from over a year ago is helpful is curious to me. I have no shame in my hustle and grind to make an entire visual album with no label and no help. It took me 8 months to pay off an $800,000 project by myself, and I'm not ashamed of that. The fact that your team is online starting lies that don't add up is ridiculous. Good night. I'm going to bed. TODRICK posted a screenshot of his first tweet about the situation on Instagram and wrote, "Scooter Braun is evil, evil, evil." Demi Lovato commented on his post, "Hey boo, I don't know you or anything, and this isn't hate, but making claims that someone is homophobic is really serious. Please don't spread information that isn't true, because I can guarantee you Scooter isn't. As a member of the LGBTQ+ community myself, he wouldn't have signed me if he was. No hate, just trying to clear that up." TODRICK responded to Demi's comment on Twitter. "Dear Demi, first off, why did you delete your tweet? Secondly, I love you and listen to your music religiously. But thirdly, you cannot compare your experience to mine, especially with someone I was with for 6 years and you've only just signed with. PSA, just because you have a black friend doesn't mean you can't still be racist. And just because you're not picketing against gay marriage doesn't mean you're not homophobic. I said what I said and I believe what I believe. Also, stop using your one client who identifies as queer to stand up for you. There's no way Demi saw my tweet. That means someone from your team is reaching out to them, using them to defend you. Fight your own battles. Being black and gay in this industry is hard as hell, and was even harder when I signed with that man. And unless someone has walked in my shoes, I don't care to compare their experiences to mine. Period. Okay, now I'm going to sleep. And I realized that Demi commented on Insta and doesn't have Twitter. Also, this is very unfortunate because I love Demi and her music. Been a fan for years. Not trying to start a fight with her because she has nothing to do with it." While all this was going on, a Tumblr user noticed some subtle changes being made to Taylor's catalog. It's like he's changing minor details in Taylor's work just to mock her. The R in Reputation, the period in I Knew You Were Trouble, changing the genre for Fearless. It's like he's rubbing it in her face that he can play with her work, and it's sickening. Someone on Twitter shared a screenshot of Taylor's album Fearless being labeled as a pop album on iTunes. They changed Fearless from country to pop. Fearless is the most awarded album in the history of country music. It won Artist of the Year at the CMAs, ACMs, Grammys. It also won Best Country Album at the Grammys. This is wrong. Fearless is not a pop album. Another person claimed Big Machine Records and Scooter re-released Taylor's music and changed the capitalization of her album Reputation. Did those men really just re-release Taylor Swift's music and mess up an album name because of this? And people are saying there's no shady stuff going on. Open your eyes. Don't buy this. Your music is all in the Apple purchased area. They're just doing this to get money. Scooter's company also owns Ronan, a charity single Taylor wrote about Ronan Thompson, a young boy who passed from cancer. Taylor wrote the lyrics from Ronan's mother Maya's blog. After Yael Cohen Braun, Scooter's wife and the co-founder of the nonprofit Cancer, made her Instagram post supporting her husband, Maya tweeted, "Yael, how could you possibly think what your husband has done is okay? He now owns the right to my son, Ronan, who Taylor wrote a song about. This is him. Give Taylor back the ownership to her music. I am not okay with my son being in the hands of anyone other than Taylor Swift." Someone replied to Maya, "Yael is the CEO of Let's F Cancer, who you follow on Instagram. She literally runs a non-profit about cancer. I don't think this is fair to her or Scooter to be villainized for making a business deal. It seems like you'd be upset no matter who owned the rights, and Taylor walked away from owning the rights to Ronan and all of her past work due to Scott Borchetta. Someone was going to buy the rights regardless. You can't hate on Yael or Scooter for deciding to be the ones to do it. Maybe attack Scott for not giving Taylor a better contract to give her easier access to her masters, such as Ronan. Not Yael. She is a mother and is dedicated to fighting against cancer. I think maybe asking Scooter about having the masters to Ronan to ensure the proceeds still benefit cancer like it was intended would be a proactive approach for your son, not this. If anyone knows about helping cancer, it's Yael, so please try to have a constructive conversation for Ronan and the proceeds of that beautiful song." Maya said, "You obviously know nothing about what is going on." Attached to the tweet were screenshots of Yael's Instagram post. Maya continued, "You with Taylor and you with me. She publicly called Taylor out and said she was having a temper tantrum, and I'm not okay with that." The person replied, "You're mad she said Taylor had a temper tantrum? Swifties are threatening to burn her house down. Her husband is being villainized everywhere because he represents a couple questionable clients and made a business deal. Attacking her isn't fair when she's defending her family." Maya responded, "You think what I wrote was attacking her? That's a very big reach." Finally, a few people pointed out the connection to the Carlyle Group, a private investment company that has financial stakes in over 200 companies, including McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts. One of those investments is a 23% stake in the electronics firm Wesco, which has a contract with the British defense company BAE Systems. Together, they manufacture a jet called the Eurofighter Typhoon, which this country uses in their attack on a neighboring country. The Carlyle Group has a small investment in Scooter's company, and they financially back the company's purchase of Big Machine Records. Mike Tomasiello, the person behind the NY Doorman Twitter account, tweeted, "Wow, so part of this deal with Scooter Braun is with the Carlyle Group. Now when Taylor's music gets played, it indirectly helps fund the elimination of tons of people. Fun. That seems to be the end of the situation for now." So, what's the big issue? Why master recordings are important to musicians, and how you can support your favorite artist. When Taylor first wrote her Tumblr post, people were confused about Taylor not owning her music, but that's actually pretty common in the music industry. According to AWOL, a music recording company for independent artists, in many traditional recording deals, an artist signs away their master rights, that is, the rights to their recordings, to a record label, either for a set period of time or the length of the copyright. In return, the label provides the artist with an advance that's recoupable against the artist's royalties. Artists may be interested in the opportunity to have the financial support from a major label. A label can promote your work and introduce you to opportunities you wouldn't have access to as an independent artist. But with this kind of deal, until it expires, the musician can't release records with another partner, producer, or artist in some cases. And any recording the artist makes while under the contract, the label owns, potentially forever. Sylvia Montello, AWOL's Senior Vice President of Operations, says that deal traditionally has not been that great for the artist because it means that, in return for the advance that they get, they're having to sign their rights away, often for those particular albums or tracks under that contract in perpetuity. Once an artist becomes successful enough, they could have the opportunity to buy their masters, like Taylor did. However, depending on how valuable your catalog becomes, even a successful artist may not be able to purchase their own masters. But what does owning the masters mean to an artist? Other than being able to work with people outside of their label, owning your masters means you have total control over what happens with your music. As it stands now, Ithaca Holdings could do whatever they wanted with the original recordings. The company could license out her music for things she wouldn't want her music associated with. In Taylor's case, she has a writing or co-writing credit on almost all her music, which gives her publishing rights on her songs. These rights give her some leverage on what her music is used for. But for most artists who don't write their own music, the label holds all the power when they own the masters. Knowing that artists don't have much control over their music, how can you support them, especially in the streaming age? Most artists receive a small percentage of the money you spend on a song or album. If they write their songs, like Taylor, they earn a little more. But if they only sing on an album and don't have other credits, they don't earn as much. Traditional record contracts start at 11 to 13% of the sale awarded to the artist as a royalty. But depending on the clauses within the artist's contract, that percentage can be as low as 5%. And it's not any better when you stream music. Spotify only pays 0.006 cents to 0.0084 cents per stream to the holder of the rights, and that small amount can be split between artists, producers, songwriters, and labels. Based on the payout, Taylor's single Shake It Off is estimated to have earned between $280,000 and $390,000 on 46.3 million streams, and that money was split between several different people and companies. In the 2007 documentary The Last Days of Left Eye, Lisa Left Eye Lopez of the American girl group TLC spoke about the different cuts taken from the money the group earned.
Okay, there are 100 points on the album. TLC had 7. Every point is equal to 8 cents. All right, 7 times 8, 56 cents. That means every time an album gets sold, TLC gets 56 cents. So 10 million records, $5.6 million. Seems like a lot of money. Well, it's not a lot of money when the record company has spent $3 million to record your album. And in the record business, we pay all costs back to the record company. So now we have $2.6 million left. Well, guess what? When you have that much money, you're in about the 47, 48, 49% tax bracket. So that immediately gets deducted to $1.3 million. Then you split the rest 3 ways. You got about $300,000 apiece, if that much. I can buy a nice house with that. And what am I gonna pay my bills with?
Buying music is a good thing you can do for your favorite artist, but they don't benefit nearly as much as you'd think. Where musicians really make their money is on tour. According to Billboard's 2016 list of richest performers, the majority of them made at least 75% of their income through touring. Take Beyoncé. She earned $62.1 million in 2016. Of that total, she made $54.7 million on tour and only $4.3 million through sales. Or Bruce Springsteen. He earned 96% of his money through touring. Of his $42.2 million gross income, $40.9 million of that came from live performances. So, if you want to make sure your favorite artist gets paid for their work, try to see them in concert whenever you can. This situation may be simple at first, but it's actually more complicated than it appears. On one hand, it's easy to see Taylor's perspective. Each song she wrote is a piece of her heart, and it's gut-wrenching to know that someone you don't know or don't like will own the rights to songs that are so personal. But on the other hand, you can also make the argument that it's a simple business transaction. Corporate mergers happen all the time, especially in a capitalist society, and it's not always personal. As for who knew what when, it's hard to know who is really telling the truth. Each side presents a very different version of the story. But the silver lining to this situation is consumers can finally see behind the curtain and know what the music industry can be like, even for someone as powerful as Taylor Swift, and they can make sure their favorite artists can get the recognition they deserve. Before the video ends, I have some good news. A platform we use has sponsored us. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. If you don't already know, Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. It's a great place to fuel your curiosity, creativity, and even career. A few of our favorite classes are about animation and creative writing. This animation class, Simple Character Lip Sync, is taught by BAFTA award-winning director and animator Fraser Davidson. The class helps you to design and animate a talking character. And this creative nonfiction class is taught by Susan Orlean, New York Times bestselling author and staff writer at The New Yorker, walking you step by step through the writing process for transforming ordinary subjects into exceptional stories. What's also great about Skillshare is the sense of community. You can join groups with other learners, give and receive feedback on projects, and speak with others with the same interests as you. It always helps to learn by doing and to learn with others. And with over 7 million members, there's a lot of knowledge to learn and share. And guess what? You can be a part of it too. Skillshare is giving away a free 2-month unlimited access trial to Spill subscribers who click on the link in the description box. And after that, it's only about $10 a month. Unlimited access means you'll be getting a premium membership, which allows you to access all classes on the platform. What do you think about this story? Let me know in the comments below.